scoring 1-1.
All right. Will this be the perfect fairy tale ending for Kylian Mbappe at home in Europe for PSG? Only time will tell. The first half, second leg, PSG versus Borussia Dortmund. What an atmosphere, Park the Prawns. Goosebumps. Road to Wembley is well and truly on. Remember, PSG have never won the big years. They reached the final in 2020, which was played behind closed doors. They lost that game against Bayern Munich. It was a tough time for everyone. Thank God we moved past that. But tonight presents another opportunity for them to reach the final. And the road to Wembley is almost on the cusp of something very, very special. This is how they line up. 2 changes for them. Donnarumma starts in goal. Mendes. Beraldo is at 1 change. He partners Marquinhos. Hakimi is going to be bombing on the right-hand side. The midfield stays the same. Kylian Mbappe is going to be playing wide, and Gonzalo Ramos partners Dembele as well. PSG didn't play at the weekend. The French authorities doing their bit to make sure that they are fresh and ready for tonight. In the first leg, they were made to sweat and had to dig deep. According to many, Borussia Dortmund could have had a bigger lead, but now the ball is in the home side, PSG's court. They will have a few chances. These two, Emre Can and Marquinhos, were shaking hands 6 odd days back. They were pivotal for their respective sides, and I'm sure they both have to be pivotal and clinical tonight for various different reasons. Dortmund, unlike PSG, of course, have won the competition in the past, reached the final in 2013, which ironically took place at the iconic Wembley, which is the venue for this season as well. In the first leg, Borussia Dortmund were really, really good and deserved the win. Just the 1-goal lead for them. No changes for them. Kobel starts in goal. Madsen at left back. Stotterbeck, Hummels, Ryerson, who was a doubt, does start at right back. Sabitzer, Emre Can, Brandt, Sancho, Adeyemi. They did a lot of defensive work as well. Start up top. Fulkrug, who scored the only goal of the semi-final so far. It has all come down to this. Both PSG and Dortmund will fancy their chances tonight. The pressure is certainly on. Who will prevail? Let's find out.
This match is brought to you by MasterCard, UEFA Champions League sponsor.
Aggressive start from PSG here, and I'm sure that's something that Edin Terzic in the away dressing room has warned his players of.
Jadon Sancho on loan from Manchester United. He's caused a bit of a stir back in his native England with his performance. That might have been slightly over-exaggerated in the English media. He certainly did better in the second half and set up a couple of chances that would have given Dortmund, had they been taken, a real foothold on a place in the final. Beraldo is Marquinhos, who's played most games in all competitions in the history of PSG. It's not a long history. They were founded in 1970. It's European Cup, as it was called then. It's a competition establishing itself in the football calendar for the invention of this particular team that's trying to lift that trophy in a month's time. Mendes had some problems with Sancho.
Yeah, he won't have forgotten that night in Dortmund. He'll be keen to tie his man down better this time around.
Dortmund get a free kick. Foul on Julian Brandt. He's spotted up himself as Mats Hummels makes his way forward. Still striving to win this tournament, having played in that final in 2013. Also striving to win the European Championships with Germany. Mentioned that in his press conference yesterday. First chance for Dortmund perhaps to add to their advantage. Hesitation all planned. Madsen takes it. Some clever movement. In the end, no trouble for Donnarumma.
I don't know if the stuttering by both players confused the lads waiting for the ball, actually. Hummels went early and ran 10 yards offside.
It was Fulkrug who scored the vital goal, who tried to head in another on the first Dortmund attack. But there will be nerves, even players as experienced as this. It's only to get to the final. No one remembers the losing semi-finalist. That's one of football's old cliches. Marquinhos, a former Dortmund player. There are a couple of them. Tandem led Dembele, Hakimi, Marquinhos. They are a side that have, under Luis Enrique, and developed the possession game. Of all the four semi-finalists, their stats through the competition has been almost 60% possession. That's Hummels challenged. Good cross.
Good ball into the box by Hakimi. Gonzalo Ramos anticipating, getting ahead of his man. He'll be keen to do well tonight. Getting the nod, such a huge match.
Signing for Benfica. Geraldo. Now Nuno Mendes. I'm sure Terzic had prepared his team for plenty of Paris possession. Here's Hakimi trying to be a decent ball, and it wasn't quite as good as the first one.
Adeyemi in Germany tracked back really well. He was a bit slow to react on that occasion, though, allowing Hakimi a bit of space.
Here's the right back, Julian Rierson. Involved to get pressure on Sancho, and Paris get the throw to Dortmund's consternation. Doesn't lead to anything, and Sancho's back on the ball. Gonzalo Ramos, Nuno Mendes. Patience might be a virtue tonight. From Dortmund's point of view, resilience, togetherness and belief that they can see it through. Important commodities.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lack of pace at the heart of that Dortmund defence, but you can see they're not pushing up at all, defending fairly deep, as you'd expect when you've got Mbappe to worry about.
Here's Dembele. It's a corner, which the man who won it is anxious to take.
Well, building up some momentum.
Adeyemi was on his defensive beat that time. Outswinger from Dembele. Marquinhos, who's very good in the air. He's not the tallest by any means, but wasn't far away from connecting. Comes in his direction again. Well, it's a difficult skill even for Kylian Mbappe to control the volley like that. He got it on target.
Yeah, and always a possibility of flicking off somebody in front to make it more complicated for the keeper.
When Paris have lost the first leg in a European semi-final, they've lost the tie. Whereas Dortmund can point to a 100% different record. And they've won the first leg, they've got through to the final 5 previous occasions. It's in all European competitions. They won it in 1997. Of course, PSG still looking to get engraved on the famous trophy with the big ears. Fabian Ruiz came out for the warm-up alongside Mbappe. They were chatting away as if they expected to be working in tandem on the Paris left. And I think Mbappe's got plenty of license to push up alongside Gonzalo Ramos. He's come back and won it. Can't keep it. Tries to again. Crowd like the hustle and bustle, but the referee didn't.
No, they're much hungrier tonight, closing down the ball, PSG. More intent to the play. You can see the logic in starting Mbappe on that left. I think it can free him up a little bit more, allow him to find space a little easier.
Riesen, the Norwegian. He lengthened the throw that he wanted. Empty chasing. The Wolves didn't want to get into a foot race there. It's just leading for long enough to play it back to Gregor Kobel, the only starter on Saturday in the Bundesliga win over Augsburg. One or two like Schlotterbeck did come on. Substitutes later in the game. The game he picked off though. Dembele, turnover here that might suit Paris. Dembele still going. Took the wrong path.
Yeah, I thought he could have slipped it through to Hakimi. He made a great run.
Went back by Vitinha. Going through the records, Alan, I can't find any team that's lost the first leg of a quarter-final and the first leg of a semi-final and still got to the final, but that would be the case if Paris can do that.
Yeah, I think that would be a first for the French champions, but it's been a dominant start, hasn't it? Dortmund will not want it to continue in this vein. They've got to have a get-out ball.
There's Enrique not putting too much pressure on his players. All the talk of needing 2 goals to get through the tie. He said, let's just win. That means we're not going to get knocked out, so if it means going to extra time, getting in front is the vital part, and they're cancelling out the 1-goal deficit. 1 or 2 promising moments to that effect already. It's well read by Riesen. Here's Sancho. So enjoyed coming back to Dortmund. Falling out with Erik ten Hag, the Manchester United manager. Probably sat and watched Manchester United's most recent game last night. Alan and I were both there. They lost 4-0 at Crystal Palace.
Well, certainly Sancho looks a different player in Dortmund colours. I wonder what his feelings are about next season. Would he want to stay there? You know, his contract, obviously, he's still with Manchester United, but it was an unhappy time.
Yeah, I think he's been saying he does want to stay. I think perhaps another year's loan would be the easy way out certainly for the Dortmund end of it. What Manchester United views on that are. So, bit of a stretch for Donnarumma.
It's quite refreshing to see the keeper not take any chances. So often you see him cut back and get into a tangle. He wasn't prepared to do that, Donnarumma.
was actually accelerating into Marquinhos' territory. Made it back pass under some pressure, but Donnarumma dealt with it. This has a useful long throw. Adeyemi deflected, and a corner for Dortmund.
It's not a bad little throw-in routine, is it? When you can launch it in like that, nice flat flight of ball. Certainly something they've worked on that.
Fulkrug with a setup. Shot from Karim Adeyemi. Described by his head coach. He's one of the quickest people on the planet, not just in football.
He's got a rival in Mbappe.
Be a good race. It's in a good corner. Headed out by Marquinhos. Here is Mbappe. Dembele's pretty rapid as well, and Paris looking to get plenty of runners forward in support of Hakimi, who's got the ball. It's Fabian Ruiz. Back to Ashraf Hakimi again.
There were an awful lot of yellow shirts sprinting back there because they were caught short for a second.
Gonzalo Ramos, spin and turn. Fizzed into his feet by Vitinha. Striker appreciated this.
Yeah, that first touch made up his mind, really. Just hopped up perfectly for a spin and volley. Looking quite sharp in these early moments.
Made his mark in the World Cup in Qatar, didn't he? He got a hat-trick for Portugal. Two goals in the group session. Started the group section here back in September against Dortmund, where an Mbappe penalty, and Hakimi, the former Dortmund fullback, so on target. He's waiting on that far side as Marquinhos plays it to him. Now Dembele, his first thought is to go forward, squeeze the ball into the pass that he wanted for Hakimi. Brandt. Ian Maatsen, who's a Dutch left back on loan from Chelsea. Emre Can.
Nice for Dortmund just to have a spell of possession. They've had to do a lot of chasing early on.
Reus. Sancho. Reus again. Gonzalo Ramos chasing back, but Reus goes on until Fabian Ruiz picks his pocket. Mbappe. The ball just gone out.
Lovely turn, just not enough space. Had he kept it in, who knows what would have happened.
Sabitzer played a big part in the recovery in the quarter-final for Dortmund. He's got the goal that absolutely wrapped up place in this semi-final, the meetings with PSG. Sancho. Dortmund's away record in this competition isn't great. In the knockout stages, they've lost 9 of their last 11 games on the road in the knockout stages of European competition. 1 win, 1 draw. Of course, a draw would be good enough tonight.
Just settling into it now, Dortmund, aren't they? See more of that ball.
Vitinha. Mbappe in the middle. ball with him. What do you think, Alan, of the fact that because of that win, as it turned out, the first game, that Dortmund know they're going to be in the Champions League next season, that will have helped. They didn't know that at the kick-off for the first leg.
Yeah, it's a nice cushion to have, but not many times you're in this kind of position. 1-0 up after the first leg in the semi-final.
Hummels. Got over 500 games now for Dortmund. Showing no sign of quitting the game. His contract is up. There's no confirmation that he will stay next season, but we have heard that Marco Reus, who's one of the substitutes again tonight, will be leaving after 12 years at the club. Now goes Madsen. To the ankle from Dembele. Been a bit short of left backs, Chelsea. They've had a lot of injuries. Had he not come out on loan, I think he might well have played quite a lot of Premier League games. He's relishing this opportunity. It's a parent club not involved in Europe. Sancho. He's got the better of Nuno Mendes this time. Sancho goes on. The covering players did enough to stop the cross coming in, but another little encouraging burst for Dortmund from Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, and not encouraging for Nuno Mendes. Did him all ends up, really. 1v1 situation.
Try the same routine again from Rierson. Fulcrum, who certainly gets there, now sets up Rierson himself. Same two players involved in the throw. Third player, of course, in the previous incident.
The two most dangerous moments from Rierson's throws. Certainly caught this one.
Fulcrum doing his job. Back to goal.